Hmm.
They playing funky shit.
Oh, my phone.
You are listening to United Public Radio Network.
Radio Network.
UPRN
Hello, people of Earth. We will probe you.
I like what they say in the Rush song. We have assumed control.
We are. Oh, hi. Look, it's Bill Clinton down there in that meat.
Yeah, it is.
Hi, you've got to listen to
Never seen that.
ICAR.
It's like Bill Cosby.
Community
I know.
Alien Research.
It's nice
There's
for you to
Obama.
advertise for Paranormal Heart, too, by the way.
.com. I should know.
Hey, Paranormal Hut, how you doing? Send her a bill, man. Send her a
You're
bill.
advertising for him.
Send her a bill.
Yep. Yo, it's 20 minutes on your show.
Pump, pump.
Tune
Bump,
in
bump.
to UFO Undercover.
Ooh, turn the volume up.
At 8 p.m. Eastern with your host, Joe Montaldo.
Bump, bump.
Right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
I had enough.
Well, you drove
had
out there
enough.
into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of
That's what
nowhere.
I was doing.
You
I
damn
actually
right I did,
had
hippie.
a,
I was
pistol in
pissed.
my hand at the time. I was really
And I had a
pissed
pistol in
off.
my hand.
When
I was
having
pissed.
this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had
Like a
this
madman,
and at
too,
this
man.
moment,
I
said,
was
okay.
flinging that bitch around. Then an Ian showed up at the abduction site and started playing his song. The alien was like, what the?
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFOs. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, commenced to throwing his weight around.
But so she ain't
Now,
having
all
none of that
six
shit,
of them
you know.
takes you kindly to that kind of thing.
Yeah, she also carries a
Last
gun,
week,
too.
but, you know, seriously. Well, Six Gun
She
looked
loved
that
that one.
critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die?" Yo, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
I had enough.
Well, you drove out there into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of
That's
nowhere.
what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was
Are we back, or is there more? There's more.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of Native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard.
Ass up.
And remember, don't whistle at night.
Yeah. Well, welcome everyone to UFO Undercover. Sorry about that.
I think you are muted. I
Ouch.
see your icon
Oh.
moving, but no sound.
Okay, what's going on? It's not saying I'm not muted. What's up, guys? Can anybody else hear me? Because all my stuff is on. So maybe Jay's muted. What's going on?
Joe, I can't hear you.
It's hello, Jackson Brown, and I don't know. It says it's on. Yeah. Can anybody else hear me out there? Hello in Wonderland.
Working.
It's working here. It's even working on the settings.
Yeah, I don't hear it. Can you hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Hear you.
Okay, let's see.
There it is.
What
And
you
there it goes.
doing? There you doing?
It
Man?
just
Yeah.
went
I don't know. It's got to be an internet
Sound
thing because
again.
it says it's working great. Let's see. Oh yeah.
Sounded like you had a short in the cable.
No, the mic's it's moving. Here, let me show you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's still not there quite. We'll get it going in a minute here, folks. A little bit of, I guess, Mercury retrograde is affecting the Montaldo estate.
Actually, they can hear me.
Yeah, everything just went blank. Boink. Well, tonight when he gets all things going, we do intend to have some videos.
What the hell?
There he is. You back? Can we hear you?
You should hear me.
No, I can't hear you.
That's on your end.
I
It's
can see
working.
your
Look.
mic is activated.
Nah,
but
look,
there's
look.
nothing coming through.
Yeah, no, it's working. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I can hear. It's working. They just get well. So Jay can't hear me, but y'all can hear me. Well, ain't that just?
Yeah, you're not coming through at all, dude. I can't hear anything.
Let's see. Let's see.
Let me go to the YouTube and see if you're coming through because you're not coming through on this end.
What's up there, Christopher? I know some people could. It's really strange. It's no, it's really strange. Yeah, it is. I'm not even seeing us live at the moment, actually. Oh, there we are. Okay. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, let me try something. I'm not hearing anything, so I'll be right back. It might be me.
Yeah, no, I can hear myself. Yeah, no, I'm fine. So anyway, I don't know what's up with Jay, guys. Jay's having a hard time hearing us for some reason or another, but that was weird. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on, let me tell him. Hear me on YouTube, and so can the audience. Sorry, guys. Talking like I'm 4 there for a second. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that is very weird.
I can hear now. It was on my end.
Okay, now the camera, I don't know what I did. I did something to the camera. Yeah, no, I found it. That's why I went over to YouTube and just listened. Let's see what's going on with that. I've never seen it even put that picture up there before. What's that about?
That means your camera's out. The camera in my laptop went out, and I don't know how to fix it. And when I try to use it, I get that icon.
Well, my camera was working fine, so it's got to be something on there. No
Or maybe you unplug something. I don't know.
No, I just went back and replugged it in. I don't know. Huh. Well, we might be without Cam tonight, guys. I don't know what's going on. Jesse James Raffaello. I love that name. No, ET just loves all of y'all. If you're if you're made out of chocolate, I don't know about all that now. You mean ET loves you if you're made out of chocolate, or do you love them if they're made out of chocolate? Some good Hershey's chocolate. I don't know. I post no. You mean you're talking about the thing that looks like the moon in my backyard? I don't know what that is. No, I got a good video of the moon and crossing through my yard, crossing over the corner of my house and through my yard. And it definitely wasn't that. What it was, I don't know. You got to remember, there's a lot of helicopters around here, a lot of low flowing big planes and stuff. I didn't hear anything, but it was picked up on my porch camera, my back door camera. Yeah, it picked it up. So a lot of weird stuff shows up on that camera. Every now and then, like on my street, there's a light that just moves around. It moves from location to location. So the very first time I've seen it move to 2 different locations in the same clip. But my camera does a 24-hour summary of the day. So you can see it at night. It just lights up. And then it turns off. And then the next day it's somewhere else. It's just staying right here in this section of the neighborhood. I don't know what it is. It's not ball lighting. I don't know what it is. I thought maybe it was just weird and people's lights were going on and out at different times and all, but the place where you see it on the corner of my stairs, there's no light there at all. Well, it's weird. There's 2 videos that come off that corner of the house. One of them, you see this weird, mysterious light. It's actually the moon. It just caught just the edge of it going by the house. I mean, just a tiny sliver of it. But the other one is something else. You can remember it's a different color, but it's something else. It's very strange how they motion detected. That's why they catch stuff. Yeah, it's set on motion detection. Well, I don't have them hardwired, so I don't have them on live mode. Or anything that anytime happens, I can review it to up to 24, up to 2 months actually, but or anytime it triggers and goes off. And I do have the option when it goes off to put it in the live mode. But most of the time, I'm not even paying attention to it. It's there just to see what's going on in my neighborhood, just to see what's in my backyards and along the bayou and what the animals are doing and what the people are doing and what the UFOs are doing. It's already caught 2 UFOs. But this is technically a hotspot where I live. It's one of the reasons we took this house. It's actually in a UFO hotspot, right smack in the middle of a good one, too. Yeah, only retarded people move to UFO hotspots, yes. I agree. I'm not arguing with you. I'm agreeing with you. Denise, I don't know. I'm going to fiddle around with the camera in a minute. I'm going to probably move it from one of the back ports to the front port. Well, it's possible it went out. I mean, it is. I don't know how old it is. Actually, it's a Logitech. I ain't never broke a Logitech camera before, but I guess it's possible. I have broke other cameras. Yes, I have. No, really, I have broke other cameras.
It's definitely not working.
I got some. Cheap shit camera around here. I actually got another decent camera. I'll find it in a minute. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's a hidden spy cam. Oh, we can't use the cam. Never mind. Let's see. Why won't it let me out of here? All right, this is even worse.
Oh, you click. Yeah, I can fix that.
And I'm still blue. What are you blue for? Oh, there you go. Okay. Now, I don't know that. I have not a clue why it did that. I'm gonna turn it off and replug it in a minute. If not, I'll get the other one. But anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Sorry about all that weirdness in the beginning of the show, but sometimes shit just happens. What do you mean? All right, Daryl. So Daryl Wallace is from New York City, and he's asking if the government asked me to come testify again, but I just volunteer everything I know. How can I say this? It says a PG show. Hell no. They're not ready. Think of it this way. Okay. We have a government. We're talking about just the U.S. government that has no idea what the hell is going on with aliens. It's compartmentalized and broke up into all kind of different pieces so that even itself don't understand. Even its secret self don't understand what's going on.
Right. And most of that is where it's broken up into is part civilian and part military, but like way super high, so high top secret that most presidents don't even know of their existence, these departments.
Well, Carol, is that your name? Well, I just seen two go by at one time. Where you from? New Jersey. What part of New Jersey? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I know where Atlantic City is. Yeah. So anyway, really and truly, when you hear stuff coming out of Washington, especially when you hear stuff like the Crash guy, oh yeah, ET. Every other time it comes through the portal, the dimensional portal, they just fall on the ground and we go get the craft and the aliens. Okay. So I got in all kind of shit because I called out Dr. Greer on this and somebody and him and somebody else. I'm like, guys, what kind of bullshit are you spewing here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really. So I said, okay. I said I could believe that if this just started happening 6 months ago or even a year ago. I said, you said you got 75 craft and more aliens than that. So I'm like, wow.
David Grush recently say it was something on the order of 140 species that the U.S. government knows of, and like 75 different models of UFOs.
Well, maybe they do. I mean, if they've got contact with aliens, but that's not what's visiting our planet by any means. There's not even any evidence for that or any proof for that.
The main rumor of what the U.S. government owns of extraterrestrial technology would be somewhere on the order between 6 and 15 craft.
That's what they say, and I don't even believe that. See, my problem with all of this is this: these are more advanced races than us, who are building craft to go through much more rugged environments than this one. So I just have an issue that they would come here and crash for any reason. But that's not even the biggest issue. The biggest issue is that any advanced race would let us keep one,
let alone 6 to 15.
Yeah, and their people,
and their people, and more importantly, what we know of their craft, they're not nuts and bolts like ours. It's like the way Bob Lazar described the one he saw was like as if it was molded out of one piece of material, all the same material, and all the same color within and throughout with the two levels he saw, except for the emitters. The gravity emitters were black. That's the only color other than
because
dull metal. Right. But the fact also remains that if speculation is correct about an advanced species and the different levels that they are, we're not even a level 1 on this scale. A level 2 society, their craft and technology would be nigh invulnerable to most natural events like lava explosions, the sun. They could fly through stars without taking any sort of damage or even heating up, that kind of thing. They can be destroyed. We cannot do it. They can, then their enemies can, because they are in control of a weapon system that we can't even imagine or fathom at this point. However, they can be hurt and they can be brought down, I think, with certain types of highly advanced electronical devices. But again, we don't have that. Any craft that we have built that emulates or even has their technology so it can fly the way they do would absolutely destroy upon impact because we don't have control of their exotic materials. But we can build a metal ship with their reactor. We can take one of their reactors out of one of their ships, put it in one of ours, and it works.
Yeah. And watch the reactor fly out of the ship because the steel's not strong enough to hold the reactor down.
And or if when it does crash, the entire
I don't physically think, because gray ships we know for a fact, and reptilian ships for sure, the reactor and the ship are molded together. It's one piece. So to take that off and try to bolt that to something, that is not going to work.
Hey, Heidi.
It will rip itself apart. It will rip itself right out the ship, right out the side of the ship. Just the ship will be going one way and the reactor will be going the other way. So I just see that's the problem with all of this. Gray ships are grown to start off with, so they're all one piece.
It's a biological
and as far
it's a device that they grow.
And if the grays are being honest, radiation helps the ship to grow. So being in space actually makes the ship stronger and healthier. So I don't, and any type of energy, according to them, any energy that hits their ships is absorbed and turned into power.
Right.
What's good about this, though, there's a gentleman who, matter of fact, he's one of the guys who worked on the X-47. He said what they did was they figured out how to use this technology a while back. The skin itself absorbs the electricity and holds it, and it can run along the underlying frame underneath the skin and can be deposited into, he didn't call them batteries, he called them something else, kind of like a diode, I guess, but maybe an oversized one.
Or a capacitor or something.
Could be a capacitor, but it's something that held the power at a much greater rate than what we do. So what happens is now you have a ship that you're firing at it. You're firing lasers or electric, whatever, and it's just absorbing your power and holding it. So that means somewhere along the line, if it wants to, it can take its weapons along with your power and double or triple the shot coming back at you. That's just scary to even think about it. It's those are 10 nights. See, the press with, I think, the hardest part for humans to understand. So here's a technological scale like this. Oh, you can't see me. Anyways, let's say the technological scale is a foot tall. We make 0.1 millimeters of that foot is where we are in the grand scheme of things. We can't seem to fathom how things work with them. Hi, Kyra. Hi, Heidi. It's technologies that we can't even grasp how the power works. Like the first time they ever talked about the whatchamacallit ship, the Roswell ship, was there was no connecting wires. It's not that they didn't have wire. They did. They just didn't have any connecting wire. And the instruments themselves were, or if you could call them that, were one piece molded with which you couldn't see any type of wiring in it at all. No circuits or anything. And it wasn't wired to anything, but yet it worked.
Yeah, and that's what there's a new documentary, and I think it's on Prime, called S4: The Story of Bob Lazar, and it's a very good, it's a little over 2 hours, I think, documentary and it's recent with Bob. He's in it the whole time, and he goes into a lot more depth into describing what it is that he saw and did at the S4 facility. And one of the things he mentioned was what you just said, was that the skin of the craft, when energized, is completely highly electrified, as in, like, if you touched it, it would kill you.
It could, yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Number two, the other thing is that he said that they had taken out a reactor from the Roswell craft, exactly similar to the one in the one he saw move, the sport model. But the reactor that he saw activate inside the laboratory was they told him from the Roswell vehicle. Now this thing was composed of a little tower about 24 inches, maybe 18 inches tall, with a little tube coming off of one side, and then a dome goes on top of that, and then inside that tower you put a little triangle of this material called ununpentium, or element 115, that's now called moscovium, as they're trying to say it was discovered in Moscow, but it wasn't. In any event, this reactor, when lit, put a force around it, one would call like the magnetic force. Like if you take two magnets and you try to put the opposite ends together, they push themselves apart. He said it felt like that, and it could get to a point where you could not go any further. You would not be able to touch the reactor while it was activated. And the way that it was activated was by rotating one of the gravity emitters 20 degrees, and it would activate. And then they'd rotate it the other way, and it would deactivate, and then you can touch it. Absolutely beyond our capacity for understanding. This device, when active, there's no wires coming from it, no wires going to it. It just sits in the middle of the spaceship, and when activated, it generates power to the whole ship. All the displays work, the windows work. All along the main level is a series of arches that you can see etched into the metal. It's metal interior, all metal. But these arched areas, when powered up, can become like windows. You can see through both ways, one way only, either direction, or you can not see through it in either direction. Very, very cool. But then also on the windows, on those arches, one half of one window, the one facing the seats that were facing what you could call the front of a disc, had half of that window would be alien data, written language scrolling across. But again, no wires touching any of the devices, panels. They don't know how any of it works. Still to this day, it was 70 years later, we don't know how any of it works. It just does. Now we definitely can't hear you.
Sorry, I had it muted because I was moving stuff around. This is a better camera, man. Look at this badass camera. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I have to move it closer. It's got better color than the other camera.
Yeah,
well, I got a couple
wider view too.
It's got definitely got a wider view.
Only because we can see all of you now.
You're lucky it's on this show. I'm gonna give you all the fingers, but we're on the wrong
right
show.
now, yeah, it's a G-rated show.
I'm gonna give you all. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Look at that. Anyway, no, I'm gonna get some videos. But who? Oh, you mean these backgrounds? No, we create these backgrounds when we do shows now. No, it's Kara's fault. She said she didn't like the background stuff being the same. They could do it every week or else. I was like, or else what? And then she told me she got pet alligators. So I was like, shit.
Yeah, look out.
And Heidi's over here speaking.
Yeah, there's the background there. Got someone was curious. Yeah. Did the AI make that logo for us? That's pretty cool. I wish we could have one for like to.
I know it is. I wonder if we could just snatch that out of there. Maybe I should.
I don't know. That's the thing. You can't grab these things and download them to your computer. I tried.
Actually, Michelle can the Huzzy. I don't know how she does it. But you can do this. So you can right click when they're in the media box over here. You can right click them and hit save and just type in what you want to name it because it's going to save all of the pictures on that strip.
Yeah. We can also save it to another folder inside StreamYard.
Well, this way you get the whole thing. You just pull out what you want and throw away the rest. And because every now and then there's a banner I want to keep on the computer I might use for something else. Like this, every now and then I might use this banner every once in a while for something. Dean, why don't we have a bunch of groups of banners? I mean, we use a lot of banners. Yeah, I'd like to just have where I can see it. No, so you got, who we got down here? We got Barack Obama, Bill Clinton. Well, Bill Clinton, only white man there. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah,
Well,
it was a disaster.
Yeah,
it's a good band to do.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I especially like that logo it made for us. Somehow we need to get that off of there and copy it.
Let's see. Facebook, here we come.
So, but you got some videos, huh?
I'm getting ready to look for them right now. They should be on Facebook. At least 2 of them on Facebook, and there was 2. I think I saved to my Google. Yeah, Linda Rodriguez. No, I'm just looking for my Facebook. Because Facebook always wants to take me to a different site than the one I'm logged into. I don't know what that's about. It's always done.
It's weird. And plus also they're putting advertisements in everything, like your own personal reels, the shorts, everything. It's gotten to the point where it's no fun anymore. I only go on it like once a week or so anymore.
Let's see. Stop trying to take me off of Facebook. Damn. It keeps wanting to send me somewhere else. Well, no, I have 3 personal Facebook pages. So what happened was, originally I started out one that was going to be just friends, and it ended up being ufology. And then I was going to make a family one, and it ended up being friends in ufology. So then I said, okay, I need a family one. And it's got family on it. It's got a bunch of other crap on it, too. So it's so look at that cute couple. Let's see, what is this? Oh, no, this is not for tonight, Joe. This is for another show.
Oh, we do another show?
This is also for another show. It's on a little piece of breaking news, people. Congress today, the House passed a bill to rein in Trump's war powers. Now it's going to have to go through the Senate, and can't he still veto it? Isn't that how a bill works? Yeah, you pass a bill, it goes through the Senate, you pass the Senate, the president's got to sign it into law.
There are some things he can't veto, and I don't know exactly how it works, but it's really for another show. But certain line item things, if he vetoes a certain line item, it vetoes the whole. But I mean, there's some weird rules with that. But yeah.
No, Jack. There's a bunch of stuff. I don't know if y'all can't see it scrolling by right now. It's good stuff, but it's all for Friday show. Okay, this is the first one we're going to do for this. Well, we're going to play just. Well, no, I've already got a bunch of good material for Friday, and so now we try to put it on. We put these during the whole week. We're putting stuff on the Facebook pages, and then on Friday when I go looking for news, anything that we're going to use, I try to post on Facebook too for a couple reasons. One, y'all can go look at it. It also makes it easier on my co-hosts if they want to know what the fuck will come up. Beep beep beep. What kind of my brain went to that day. Right. And it allows them to pick up stuff that fills in between or things they think might go wrong with some of the other stuff. So it just makes everybody's life easier. Yeah. And I don't have to be the only one showing it either because they both know where they are. So they can always pop in and grab things that they want to talk about or queue up. And that's a good system. No, we're going to be doing a lot of different things. News on the flip side is going to change quite a bit. It has been changing. Y'all just haven't noticed because we've been just doing several stuff. But one of the things we definitely want to add is the little sections where there's 5 or 10 minute specialties. Well, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but sometimes you just need to make a statement, not so much a comment.
Oop. He just disconnected himself somehow. And the drama keeps going. Yeah, there's quite a few things we've been talking about getting Stephen Bassett back on the show. Talk about UFOs. He's really good. Joe has a doctor friend who's an archaeologist, I believe. Not an armchair style, but an actual one. And we'd like to get him on and have a deep dive on the pyramids. That would be fun. We've had quite a few. I don't want to say heated, but very lively discussions.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Actually, we're supposed to be having Michelle on.
You just went completely tits up. Just
I know. I seen it. It just lit up my screen. I'm like, and I'm around seeing something blew up or something turned off.
Ah, there it is.
But StreamYard. We had a show Tuesday night. It dropped the whole show. And then a couple weeks ago, last week we had a problem with.
Both of us popped out of this. I mean, we started talking about the new videos, and bang, we both were shut out.
I don't know, dude. It's just I don't want to be conspiracy. It's just a little weird.
It's not. It can't be a coincidence when it's a coincidence.
Rhonda from where do you live? Oh yeah, Marietta, Florida. I know right where you are.
Marietta, Florida, or Marietta, Georgia?
Florida. I know right where you are. So Marietta is right in between. It's on the other side of Destin, right before Fort Walton. Right around Fort Walton.
I've heard of Destin. That's where they make Desitin for babies, you know?
Yeah, I know. So it's Marietta. No, there's a Whiting Fields right there. There's a big top secret military base right there. It's called Whiting Field. Yeah, it's right there in Marietta, pretty much. And then there's an Air Force base, but I mean, there's shit all over that place. And then there's a forest down there with that other Air Force base. I can't remember the name of it. It's hidden inside the forest.
Okefenokee?
This is a weird little place. So what's weird is it's got this big, huge Air Force base. You drive through right through the middle of the Air Force base. There's two of them like that, actually. So you drive through, you come out on the other side. There's a forest. It takes about 3, maybe 4 hours to cross it. It's long, big, monstrous forest. You're on your car. I'm doing 80. Ooh, radar stupid. Beep, 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 beep. You know, flat plane like that. My radar stupid. See, 3-4 miles. So I just slow down. There's a little sheriff, state trooper, usually a sheriff. Seeing one, that's all I've seen that whole trip going. Seeing two coming back. Just cruising along. And all of a sudden you see a little sign about yay long, about yay wide. Air Force biochemically warfare testing facility. Excuse me? I actually hit the brakes, turned the car around to go get a picture because I thought I was bleeping seeing things. Because every now and then, you know, high speed, you read signs. Sometimes it's not. Matter of fact, when I was giving my wife shit because I seen something, I said, man, that looked like a kangaroo or something. Oh, no, I said it looked like a chicken maid. And it was one of the kangaroo signs. And
Kangaroo.
It just looked like a chicken maid from a distance. But anyway, we got back. Sure enough, that's what it said. So we're coming back. And on the other side, so the completely opposite end of where we saw the first sign, there's another sign saying the same thing. So basically, the entire middle of this forest is a research facility for the Air Force for chemical warfare.
Nice.
I was like, I tried to get all kind of information. I was finally politely asked to stop. I got a letter first. It said something along the lines of, why you keep digging this? What exactly are you looking for? I wrote back, said, you filed just blah, 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 blah. And they said, well, there's nothing here like that. And you should just stop digging into this. It's classified after all. And I was like, okay. I mean, it wasn't a hateful one, like, we would kill you or feed you to the sharks or something, or use you for testing. It wasn't nothing like that. It's just, it was one of those curt little things like, you've been warned. Don't be stupid. Kind of thing. So, anyway. Yeah, it's a big forest down there, man. It's creepy. We were down there on the other side of that forest, cruising through, when this thing, it was so weird. So, they had these big things down here that cut trees on the side of the roads. They're basically a big arm with a damn skill saw blade the size of your car, is what they are. And like giant shuriken, for lack of a better way of saying it. But they just cut the side to keep the trees away from the power lines, the limbs and stuff. Well, we're cruising down the line. You see this thing go by, just making this wicked spinning sound. It just went singing by. The damn shaft on the crane's blade broke, and the blade took off. It looked like a flying saucer when it went by. That thing hit anything. Where it finally hit, it took out like 9 trees before it stopped and hit the ground. It was kind of wedged in the ground like that. Whoosh. There's something out of a stupid movie or something, like The Mummy or something. It was crazy. Yeah, Indiana Jones or something. It was crazy. You know what? Let me put this on. I'm going to get that and get sidetracked. No, Jay said he's not having any more alien babies. 50 was enough. Yeah. The one, once the one born, it like sprouts into 50. Hey, look, what do you expect?
It disappeared too. It used to be right there. It must have taken off back to the homeland.
Shit. It can disguise itself out there, breathing at warp speed.
It could be running around the planet. I don't know.
Well, I was wondering how Sean got pregnant. Now I know. Snuck off to Sean's house.
Yeah, good point.
Sean Haley. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, like not Sean Hannity. Sean Dexter. Sean Dexter Kelly.
Like that kind of deal. Anyway, my brain is fried. I tell you. I keep going to put this video up, and Jay keeps sidetracking. Yeah, I'm blaming Jay. It's easier just to blame Jay.
No, I don't have
Let's see.
TikTok.
That's not what we want. That's work. That's what I was working on the website at. That's what I want right here. Okay. So this is just a picture of Mars, people.
It's up there.
Is it? Okay.
That's not a picture. That's a video. It's
A
moving.
video of Mars. Yeah, it's a video of Mars. Uh-oh. There's another rover on Mars. You see the tracks behind it?
Well, that was the tracks from the rover that's taking the picture, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But some idiot the other day tried to say it was because it was there was another rover.
Where do those tracks go?
He said that was the Chinese rover following the American rover around. He said you could tell
but I don't know.
tracks there.
Is this footage colored? Because usually the terrain of Mars is not that red.
No, this is actual color. This is actual color. It's high resolution. This is foothill. 1.5 billion pixels of raw data.
Yeah.
Well, let's make sure it's what it says it is.
Very, very cool.
Ow, ow, ow. Get off my eardrum.
I don't think that's what Mars sounds like, but
Yeah. I hope not, because I ain't going
good.
Additional UFO files released show explosive images and video evidence. Here, the object maneuvers erratically before a sudden explosive burst. The event's intensity suggests advanced technology or an unknown phenomenon. Additional UFO files released show explosive images and video evidence. Here, the object maneuvers erratically before a sudden explosive burst. The event's intensity suggests advanced technology or an unknown phenomenon. Additional UFO files released show explosive images and video evidence. Here, the object maneuvers erratically before a sudden explosive burst. The event's intensity suggests advanced technology or an unknown phenomenon. Additional UFO files released show explosive images and video evidence. Here, the object maneuvers erratically.
I wanted to put stuff in there so y'all could read it now. Well, that's a little better picture than some of the other ones I've seen. It actually looks like a spaceship anyway of some kind.
Yeah. And there's definitely something coming off of it that looks like some sort of energy emissions, magnetic or gravitic.
See,
but the explosion looks like the Death Star explosion. All the sparks.
Well, but watch. It looks like it's getting ready to jump. See, that's what it looks like. And then it looks like something happened because now it's all tilted and there's smoke coming off of it.
Yes.
I wonder what happened. Did it fail?
This is probably why Stephen Greer thinks they all go through some sort of portal and then they crash.
So they crash when they're leaving. We should make his mind up.
I don't know that they're. I can't say that they're opening a portal. I'm not going to go there, but yeah, it definitely looks like their engine explodes.
So when you look at it,
additional UFO files released show explosive images and video evidence. Here, the object maneuvers erratically before a sudden explosive burst. The event's intensity suggests advanced technology or an unknown phenomenon. Additional UFO files released show explosive images.
So that's weird. So it glows.
Yeah, see that glowing spot? That's the engine heating up. I don't think it's trying to go into outer space. I think they're trying to get away before their engine explodes near us, civilians.
Yeah, but that's not where it lights up from. It lights up from the nose cone. Not only does it light up from the nose cone, it surrounds the whole ship as it goes backwards.
Yeah.
Watch. Yeah. Just watch. There it goes. Boom. And it just takes off and goes backwards. And then as it passes the back of the ship is when the sparks start.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a failed jump. That could be a laser, that spot you see.
A laser from outside?
A laser from somebody taking a shot at it, yeah.
Yeah.
And from above, that could be we're supposed to have some big lasers in space from Star Wars. Never really thought about it shooting a real laser at a high intensity.
It's a good thing for you. I have a degree in video analysis. Otherwise, that might have gone missing. That glowing spot might have not been really seen.
Okay, this is for Friday, yes. Ooh, this is definitely Friday. That's definitely Friday.
Friday, yeah.
See, but this is great though. This is great. So you can't spell American without I can, or without Republican, but Democrat hinted rats. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Years I never knew that. I was like, oh my God,
yeah.
I'm with Democrat friends in trouble now.
Well, you know what the definition. You know what the definition of politics is.
No, I don't know if I'm going here, man.
Oh, that's easy. It's easy. It's all Greek. The word politics comes from the Greek poly, meaning many, and the Greek tik, meaning bloodsucker.
Oh, Lord. I didn't say that, Keith. Jay said that.
Many bloodsuckers is what it means.
Where's
And you
the
know
balls?
I'm not wrong. But anyway, back to UFOs. Yeah. Oh, I tried to look at this one, but it sent me to TikTok. I don't know how to operate TikTok, so I
Well, hold on,
can't.
it won't let me.
Yeah, it'll open up in TikTok. You got to go to TikTok. It'll
Well, it's open in TikTok right now. I was watching. I need
Oh,
to,
yeah. I don't know how to operate TikTok, so I can't. I
I
didn't
gotta
look at
bring
it.
it over here. Let's see. No, I don't need that. I need this. You just gotta find them and bring them over. Yeah,
Did you get yourself any go-go juice? My coffee's almost gone. Oh, there it is.
Platform in 2023. For nearly 2 minutes, 3 distinct thermal signatures maintained perfectly fixed positions relative to each other. No explanation was offered. What we're witnessing here raises profound questions about intelligence, coordination, and intention in realms we're only beginning to understand.
Not if they're drones.
Recently released on May 8th, the Pentagon has released additional UAP files for public review, prompting fresh expert analysis of documented cases. The materials offer newly accessible data on unidentified aerial phenomena encounters, though specifics remain limited in scope. Whether these files contain substantive evidence or represent continued compartmentalization of information remains contested among.
Shut up.
Recently released on May 8th, 26, this video from the Department of War's Pursue archive shows infrared footage from an Indo-Pacific command platform in 2023. For nearly 2 minutes, recently released on May 8th, 2026, this video from the Department of War's Pursue archive shows 58 seconds of infrared footage captured over the Middle East in 2020. A military sensor tracked an area of contrast that gradually increased in size and distinctiveness before departing the frame. No description was provided by the original observer. What we're witnessing here remains unidentified, a reminder that our skies still hold mysteries worth understanding with humility and care. Recently released on May 8th, 2026,
One of the things about those shorts
Department of War's Pursue archive shows infrared footage from a U.S. military platform in the Middle East during 2020.
Oh.
For over 3 minutes, a sensor carefully tracked an area of high contrast, adjusting zoom and focus repeatedly as the object moved. Then, just as suddenly, it departed the frame. No official explanation was provided. What we're witnessing is genuine military documentation of something that remained unidentified.
Underwater.
A reminder that our skies still hold mysteries we're only beginning to understand.
It came out from underneath the boat.
The Pentagon released 162 declassified files on unidentified anomalous phenomena Friday, following President Trump's directive to his war secretary to increase transparency on UFO and extraterrestrial-related documents. Recently released on May 8th, 2026, this video from the Department of War's Pursue archive shows a 2-second infrared capture from Africa in 2025. A small, barely visible object crosses the frame from left to right before departing the bottom corner. The reporting officer provided no description. What's striking here is the silence. Sometimes what remains unexamined holds its own kind of mystery. Recently released on May 8th, 2026, this video from the Department of War's Pursue. Recently released on May 8th, 2026, this video from the Department of War's Pursue archive shows nearly 5 minutes of infrared footage captured by U.S. military sensors over the Middle East in 2020. What we're watching is an area of contrast that moves deliberately across the frame, intermittently fading and reappearing as the sensor tracks it. What's striking isn't just the object's behavior, it's the deliberate way it responds to imaging changes. When the sensor switches thermal modes, the phenomenon shifts position. That kind of apparent awareness raises a fundamental question. Are we observing something, or is something aware it's being observed? Recently released on May 8th, 2026, this video from the Pentagon has released additional UAP files for public review, prompting fresh expert analysis of documented cases. The materials offer newly accessible data on unidentified aerial phenomena encounters, though specifics remain limited in scope. Whether these files contain... The U.S. government released a new batch of documents on unidentified anomalous phenomena, including photos and videos of unexplained aerial events. The files cover unresolved cases where officials...
Why the preachy intro? Just show us-
FBI documents released through the National Archives detail a 90-minute UFO sighting in Anoka, Minnesota on February 19th, 2025, involving at least 3 police officers. Witnesses observed a multicolored spherical object with unusual movement patterns. Video evidence was captured during the incident. The FBI records provide no definitive conclusion about what was observed, leaving the sighting officially unexplained. FBI documents released through the National Archives detail a 90-minute UFO sighting in Anoka, Minnesota.
Any day.
Recently released on May 8, 2026, this video from the Department of War's Pursue archive shows infrared footage from a U.S. military platform in the Middle East during 2020. Military personnel detected a small thermal signature tracking it across the sensor field as it moved against the background. The original reporter marked the anomaly with annotations. AARO preserved the footage exactly as received. What we're witnessing is genuine military documentation of something that remained unidentified. A reminder that vast portions of our The Pentagon released declassified UAP files in May, the second batch that month, featuring Oklahoma City sightings. The materials include astronaut audio and over 50 video clips from military sensors capturing unidentified objects. Some cases involved ice fragments or spacecraft debris, NASA determined. Others show objects recorded by military equipment on Earth. The releases stem from a Trump administration directive ordering broader government disclosure of UAP
Yeah, we know
records.
that, buddy. Show the videos.
Trump's administration has released new UFO videos as part of a stated transparency initiative. The exact nature and content of the footage remains unclear. Recently released on May 8, 2026, this video from the Department of War's Pursue archive shows 5 seconds of infrared footage from a military platform over the Middle East in 2020. A faint anomalous object moves deliberately across the frame before disappearing. No explanation was provided. What we're witnessing here remains genuinely unknown.
It's nothing.
Recently released on May 8, 2026, this video from the Department of War's Pursue archive documents an encounter over Syria in October 2024.
That one could be,
U.S. Central Command captured 5 seconds of footage showing an irregular ball of white light with a distinctive halo effect. 2 semi-transparent orange areas appear briefly in the frame,
in
each
different shapes
lasting under
too.
2
So,
seconds.
sorry, not a UFO.
Military analysts remain
That's
unable to
camera
identify its origin or nature, leaving us to wonder what intelligence might exist beyond our current understanding.
Nothing there. That's a camera glitch, buddy. Sorry.
Recently released on May 8, 2026, this video from the Department of War's Pursue archive shows 9 seconds of infrared footage from the Middle East in 2020.
In the
Military personnel observed an area of contrast moving linearly across the frame with no explanation offered. The object's purposeful trajectory raises questions about what operates in spaces we're only beginning to see clearly.
There it goes. There it goes.
There it is.
Recently released on May 8, 2026, this video from the Department of War's Pursue archive shows 9 seconds of infrared footage from the Middle East in 2020. Military personnel observed an area of contrast moving linearly across the...
There it is. Right.
Yeah, I see it. Yep. That could be a drone, easily.
It's definitely a little contrail behind it.
Yeah, or it's leaving a blur effect from the light. Yes. One or the
frame
other.
with no explanation offered. Trump ordered Pentagon UAP... Recently released on May 8, 2026, this video from the Department of War's Pursue archive shows infrared footage. Recently released on May 8, 2026, this video from the Department of War's Pursue archive shows infrared footage from the Middle East in 2020. A military sensor operator tracked an unidentified area of contrast across their field of view for over a minute. No description was ever provided. What they were Steven Spielberg told Michelle Obama on her podcast that extraterrestrial life existing beyond Earth is mathematically and scientifically inevitable. He's promoting his upcoming UFO thriller, Disclosure.
I bet you he is.
Yeah, and I and others
Recently
have been
released
saying
on
for years that it's mathematically impossible.
Trump's administration.
Alone.
Yeah, it's pretty much everybody does these days. Wait, who's that?
Charles James Hall, an
that
Air
was-
Force weather observer at Nellis in the
No, but Charles Hall's
mid-1960s,
aliens look
reported
like
repeated
people.
encounters with tall.
Okay, first off, ladies and gentlemen, they're way taller than this to start off with. They have different kind of heads. The best comparison to a Charles Hall alien, with its face being different. Have you seen the movie? Oh,
Fifth Element.
no. It's they end up going down to South America and finding where they went to Arecibo, but then they went down to some power plant where they found
The Arrival.
The Arrival, yeah. So his if you've seen the guy's legs off from the waist down, that's pretty much what Charles Hall's aliens look like, except their legs are straight, but they can bend back like that because they're
Yeah, but they also, I mean, the hair in these is not. Their hair is like translucent.
They well, I guess it depends how you look at it. He said it was white.
He described it as either straight white or yellow, blonde.
And then, no, on average, they were around 8 foot tall. Yeah, they were tall.
Well, the older you get, the taller you get.
Yeah. So
and they also age in reverse.
So it's weird.
They're like the Mork from Mork and Mindy. their youth look like old people, and their old people look like adolescents.
It's weird. Well, it's theorized in other words. We'll see. I don't know yet.
That's how he describes them. Yeah, I mean, it's the best way to say it. Is
my only problem is how do you give birth to something that big when you're the same size as it? No, I don't, Jack, I'm not saying it's not true or it's true. I said I'm just saying I don't know, man. I'm just saying. But anyway, their eyes are different. They're just their faces are different. So the reason they wear the thing on their head and the Holocaust cloak when they go to Vegas is because they really don't look like us.
They can pass as us, but they have to hide certain features like their ears, their eyes. They wear glasses or dark rimmed glasses when they go to Vegas.
We know 4 state troopers that see them. 2 state troopers said they thought they were vampires. That's honest. Yeah. They said they thought they were vampires, or something along those lines. And
well, truly, in today's society, especially knowing Vegas, where they like to hang out, in Reno, they could very easily dress themselves up as a Star Trek character or a vampire or a mythical character, even an elf, a dark elf. They could put, dark makeup on and make themselves, the dark elves. And they could easily walk around and no one would say a thing. They'd be like, oh, hey, cool costume. Can I take a picture with you? Sure. Boom. And then there would be alien photos all over the planet and people would be like, hey, look at that guy's costume. That's not a costume. That's a dude that looks like that.
One of the best videos I ever seen was in about 2006, I think. So this guy in England made this costume. He did a giant alien. He was walking around terrorizing the CCC cameras.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so he was making, and he was, attacking stuff, being crazy. Well, he hid and then he just disappeared, and they couldn't find him. Right, so some guy was out there in his car looking for him, and a guy come walking out from the side of the building. This little dude pooped himself.
Yeah,
literally, it was bad. And as a guy walked over, to grab him, he just passed out. And they gave the guy like 2 years because he seemed like he was scared to do it.
Yeah, that's funny. When I was in college, I was a senior taking video classes. We had a freshman came in and he made for his I guess his first year, his first video. He built a Predator costume from the movie Predator, 100% accurate. The face opened up, and I mean it looked fantastic. I never got a chance to meet the kid, but I would have loved to have gotten on and helped him with a video shoot and seen that costume up close. When you have that much talent, there's Hollywood has plenty of jobs for you.
Oh, yeah, they do. No, Dean, they don't look nothing like these. Yeah, I'll finish playing for it, but they don't look nothing like these.
Pale being standing 6 to 8 feet high. He claimed they communicated telepathically and maintained underground bases on the base under military agreement.
Well, that's also wrong.
Paul's account suggests a formal arrangement between elements of the U.S. military and extraterrestrials.
What was that, Jack? Hold on.
Charles James
Hall's tall whites. They don't talk telepathically.
Hall, an Air Force weather
communication.
Yeah, from what I understood, they talked normally. They weren't.
Yes.
He said they were telepathic. He said, but they were dealing with humans. They talked to us like we did.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Actually,
and they know
all
Earth
languages. A lot like us.
Yeah, they're very similar to us, and they can talk in all Earth languages.
Just as far as
observer at Nellis in the mid-1960s reported repeated encounters with tall, pale beings standing 6 to 8 feet high. He claimed they communicated telepathically and maintained underground bases on the base under military agreement. Hall's account suggests a formal arrangement between elements of the U.S. military and extraterrestrials in exchange for technology access. Charles James Hall,
there was a bit on the
recently released on May. Charles
Hall's aliens were a little bit on the cranky side.
Yeah, they're a little cranky, a little easily upsettable, and also they have
Trump posted an AI.
You can pause it real quick. Their facilities aren't underground per se. They're in the mountains in Nevada at a place called Area 53, I believe.
Yep, Area 53.
And they have mostly their stuff is cut into the cliffs, and there's doors and hangar bay doors, kind of like S4 that are they're textured to look like the external parts of the mountain. So when they're closed, you can't see that there's a door there. But they do have, allegedly, according to Charles Hall, an outdoor, let's say patio area where they have, believe it or not, they built for the aliens a outdoor basketball court. Now, of course, the hoops are actually like, I think 12 to 14 feet tall because they are, twice as tall as us. But they have an outdoor recreational facility where if you had access to a Russian top secret satellite, you might capture some pictures of them out there playing basketball in the hot Arizona or Nevada sun.
They're very weird. It's a colony. It's not a colony. It's more like a spaceport.
It's a truck stop, really.
Yeah, well, it is and it isn't. It's a truck stop, but it's kind of maintained. So I guess it technically.
So let's say okay.
There's
So
a decent group there. I mean, so Charles said originally he thought there was enough for like one crewed ship, and then he realized that there were actually several ships there. So there was a couple of hundred of them that were there. But that's why they had the facilities, because a lot of times I don't know if they were waiting for launching times or if they just maintained a decent presence here. But according to him, there's always ships coming and going.
Mm-hmm.
But there was always 2 or 3 of them there, and their ships were decent size. They're not like little.
Well, it's allegedly so. Let's upgrade it. It's more of a truck stop, less than a resort. They kind of think of it as a sort of a weekend resort. The aliens do, but it's not really, because they have limited access to the rest of the planet, and when they do have access to Las Vegas, for example, they're escorted by men in black the entire time. So they're under constant observation, number one. And number two, they have facilities there to fix and repair their craft, refuel their craft, and resupply their craft. So in other words...
Yeah, that's why I say it's more like a spaceport.
Yeah.
That because they carry weapons too.
Yeah, it's kind of just... It's more like the kind of things on the side of the roads, like south of the border on I-95. That resort that you showed the other show where no, it was someone else who showed that. Anyway, there's several different types of highway resort areas that are like that. You can get your car fixed, you can buy food, trinkets, all kinds of stuff. And that's kind of what the aliens are doing there. It's a waypoint for them between long travels. They can relax, walk around, take a pee, and then move on.
Mike, and nobody knows how long each group stays. Charles said the one woman, because he was out there for 3 years.
Yeah.
And he said the one woman was there the entire time.
Yeah, and her child. Yeah.
Yeah, and her child. And so the thing of it is like I said, that's why I said spaceport originally, because Colony, I don't think it's big enough to warrant a colony.
No.
And
Yeah,
it's kind of like an all around, what Jay was saying about being like, truck stop. It is kind of an all in one kind of thing. So it's like a giant truck stop stuck inside of a spaceport. You know what's interesting about this? Jeff Bezos petitioned the government to let him meet those aliens so that they could use Jeff Bezos' spaceport.
Yeah.
I was surprised when I heard that. I was like, wow, how did he find that? And
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
it must have been
Elon
somebody
either.
told him. It must have been somebody important that told him, or he wouldn't have petitioned to see if he could get
Or
a spaceport.
maybe he saw Charles Hall's lectures, you know?
He might have, but yeah, he might have. But if you're going to start talking about money, Bezos usually wants to check his stuff out first. So.
Right.
I've never heard Elon talk about it. Elon rarely even talks about aliens. It's like, when I find one, we'll talk about one. That's pretty much how Elon.
He's kind of smart not to, but the other two, was it Bigelow and Bezos? You got to be careful about that stuff, because they are both. They both have their fingers in top secret government research and engineering and contracting. So if you're a little too vocal out in the public sector, there they could lose those contracts, and that would be a huge loss of lucrative money for them.
Yes, it would be too. He's talking about Bigelow Air and Space.
Yeah, and Bezos. They both of them have top secret contracts with the military industrial complex, not the U.S. government, mind you, but our military complex. And should they be, in order to keep their top secret abilities, they can't be doing what they do on TV and revealing secrets. As soon as they do that, they will lose those contracts, and that's a huge. I mean, those government contracts are guaranteed for X amount of years for X amount of money. And just for an example, my father did a contract with the U.S. Navy. It would have been, I was still in high school, so in the mid 80s, somewhere between 80 and 84. It was an 8-year contract for $8 million for his company to do top secret research for the Navy. That's 8 years, $8 million guaranteed, as long as my dad keeps his trap shut and doesn't reveal any secrets, which he didn't.
They got a bunch of stuff they have to keep up with. It's
the scary part is that the audience probably doesn't know. Joe and myself, I don't know for how long Joe's phones and communication lines have been observed, or if you want to call it tapped. But before I was born, my families, my direct immediate families, under my father, mother, myself, and my brother and sister, we have had our lives observed and tapped, if you will, from the NSA from before I was born and still today, because of the nature of my father's work.
Well, Uncle Sam loves us all,
but he has to keep a little bit closer tabs on some of us, just in case we blab to the wrong person.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really blame it, because Americans, unfortunately, sometimes run their mouth far too much.
Oh, yes, I agree. Well, there's an interesting one.
The Trump administration's Pursue program is releasing a second batch of. The U.S. government released new UAP files containing photos, videos, and reports recently released on May 8, 2026. This video from the Department of War's Pursue archive captures 6 seconds of unidentified phenomenon over Syria in October 2024. A military camera recorded what witnesses described as a misshapen ball of white.
So for me, I gotta be honest now.
A reform
I'm
council
more interested.
recently released on May 8th, 2020.
So,
what happened there?
Where are we?
There it is. There we go.
Okay, that was weird. I'm more interested in what's going on over the U.S. guys. What's going on in Europe? What's going on over Asia? Screw the Middle East. Like I care what's going on in the Middle East.
Yeah, you got to figure with all the information our government or the powers that be have on UFOs over our skies, what do they have on the enemy's skies? China, Korea, North Korea.
Mark, I haven't heard China say anything about yaps. They're not really.
Well, here's an interesting quiz for you. If the data suggests that most UFO activity are near A, large population centers, and B, most importantly, military installations, and C, even more importantly than that, I should have maybe done that in reverse. A should have been this one, but nuclear facilities, whether civilian power plant or military weapons facilities, that's where most of the activity seems to be. So you would think that if you wanted to find, if you were a government on the planet here and you wanted to find a top secret nuclear facility that North Korea was working on, you might start by looking at where the UFO reports are.
Well, John, they don't really report them as much. China's got weird rules about UFOs, and other countries have weird rules about UFOs. So my problem is, all this UFO disclosure. We're disclosing. Really, what have we disclosed? Let me see. Well, we put out some grainy black and white footage. Ooh, interesting, but doesn't mean squat. I haven't heard the President of the United States come out and say, you know what, Bob DeGray is sitting in my studio right now. We're having strawberry ice cream with Bob Lazar. And we're just chilling. Jeffrey, I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, he gets blamed for it, but I don't think it was actually him who said the strawberry ice cream. It could have been Bob. So, look, what happened was way back, George Knapp was doing an interview with somebody, and they were behind a screen. People say it was Bob Lazar, because Bob did do a couple of interviews on the QT without saying who he was. But I couldn't tell you it was him. But anyway, one of the things said is that the Grays liked strawberry ice cream.
I think I know where that comes from. So during the Charles Hall's events, he's got, you can look on YouTube and other places. He's got, I don't know, 20 different lectures on there. But they're in parts, part 1, 2, 3, and I don't remember which part, but in one of them, he actually mentioned something to the effect that the children of I think he called them Arcturians was their species, but anyway, the tall whites, the children really enjoyed what we have here on Earth, something called freeze-dried ice cream. Now, when I was a kid, the Air and Space Museum opened up, and they had in the gift shops freeze-dried ice cream, what the astronauts allegedly carried to the moon. And it's a Neapolitan little bar about like that square, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. And Charles Hall comically commented he was amused by this fact that the children of the tall whites, that was one of their favorite things of Earth was the freeze-dried ice cream. I don't know if they particularly told him that they liked the strawberry side or the vanilla side or the chocolate side, but I think that's where that rumor comes from. Is someone has trained?
Well, no, this is an actual interview, on television interview, and the guy is sitting behind a panel doing a silhouette, talking, and then one of the questions was about eating it. He said they like strawberry ice cream.
And it was Bob Lazar that said that.
They say it was Bob. I'm not saying it was Bob because I can't.
Yeah, it sounds like Charles Hall to me.
No. Charles Hall. This was before Charles Hall.
Yeah, well, could be, but I don't know.
And
I know Charles Hall said the same thing. It was
and they were talking about grays. They were talking about saucers and grays. They were talking.
Yeah.
Charles Hall talks.
Well, maybe in general, the strawberry is a fruit that isn't, prominent outside our solar system, and therefore it's a unique flavor for them.
Yes. Come on, if they're getting strawberry ice cream, they're getting artificial strawberry ice cream.
Well, but still,
I don't know. Maybe somebody brought them some bride or some real strawberry vanilla ice cream. I don't know.
Yeah, let's face it. The Grays, they don't really seem to have much of a palate anyway. They don't seem to eat through their mouths. So
I could see him taking an ice cream cone and going shh and absorbing it through their skin.
Try to suck it up through their hand. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that happening either. How do you?
They got teeth, so they can't eat
strawberry ice cream through your skin.
Well, no, they can't eat. They do have teeth. So at one time they ate it. Somewhere along the line,
Well,
when they modified themselves.
The way the way that it was described to me was like their palate was like that of an oyster crusher. You ever heard of an oyster toadfish? They have like bony plates inside with like ridges on it to crush their food, but they don't use it as often. They absorb nutrients and
So yeah, we don't know how long they've been absorbing it through their skin, but it's more than that. And this is how you know why the gray ships are the way they are, because they absorb the plasma for energy, but they can absorb energy, electricity into their body. So it makes sense that their crafts could do it because they could do it. So that's why I've always been etchy sketchy about anything radioactive or electrical around the grays. I feel that their technological and their self-build is so far beyond that. I don't think there's anything they can fuck with them. That's what I meant. Other races, though, when we talk about this, somebody asked me just the other day, he said, "Well, I hear you talk about it." I said, "Well, the grays were pretty advanced, and their ships are alive." You have to remember something about a ship that's alive. It has self-preservation built into it. So if you're not going to maybe see crashes and stuff from it because it may take over or do something else.
Yeah, it's kind of equivalent to like trying to force a horse to jump off of a cliff.
So this is what's interesting about all of this. So the grays grow their ship, but they say once it reaches a certain size, it hardens completely. In a way, it's kind of like a crab, they say, because it kind of molts the first couple of times until it gets to X amount of size, and then when it gets to a certain size, it can't get any bigger. It just hardens. So you could drive it, park it in the sun, it wouldn't even phase it. The reptilians and the human ships are supposed to be poured one-piece ships, and whatever the material is they're using, the temperature is actually hotter than a white star to melt it. And once it hardens, there is no melting it again. It's not going to melt. It's not going to break. It's not going to crack.
It's like the legendary adamantium. Once it's no longer molten, it can no longer become molten.
It's just that's just what it is. Oh, well, gee, who knows? In the future, people might come up with a chemical that heats it up like acid.
Well, you don't even need a chemical. The fact is that most metals, if you have the raw ore, so the legendary adamantium, if you can find the raw ore, that's the only time that you can smelt it and turn it into a liquid. And then from that point, you can turn it into a billet while it's still hot and hammer it into a shape, a hammer, a sword, a fork, knife, whatever. And then once it cools, you can no longer, unless you have a white star, you cannot melt it again.
No, that's what they're talking about, Jackson. Once these ships are hard, that's it. They're done. That's why when we talk about
like we said earlier in the show, they're nigh indestructible, but they can be damaged, incapacitated, and or destroyed. We just don't have the physics or the probably more like what's the other physics? The new thing, quantum physics. We don't have quantum physics enough to even affect. We can barely track their stuff with our sensors as it is.
Think of it this way, Carly. If a reptilian ship was to come in, say at like 14 times the speed of light, it would hit our planet, go completely through our planet, suck our planet into dust, and still be intact when it reached the other side. Now everybody on board would be dead, but the ship would still be intact. It's not just that. They were talking about this on other things. And like a gray ship could crash, the ship itself would stay intact, but everybody inside would more than likely be dead. Because once you lose on that inertial dampeners, you're squished.
Yeah, and that ship, once it passed through the planet, the crew would probably instantly be destroyed. The ship, however, would continue on its course at that speed until it runs out of energy or hits something that it can't destroy.
Yeah, something
and
to
then
be part of.
The more scary part is who's to say that didn't already happen in our solar system?
Can't say it did. Can't say that's not what that big gouge in Mars is.
Would something obliterated planet number 5? Something gouged and sucked most of the atmosphere and some of the water off of Mars and mashed our planet and knocked it off like a cue ball. And then it's very possible that thing could have been the planet Venus, which I think is foreign to our solar system because it rotates counterclockwise to all the other planets.
They said there's a reason why they think it's from here. There's something to do
something to do with some sample the Russians had. They know it was formed from our sun. It's
impossible. Nothing has been returned from Venus.
No, they don't have to return it to sample it. What are you talking about? We sample stuff in other worlds all the time.
I don't know.
Have it sent back. Anyway, they talked about three different things. Originally, when they talked about the atmosphere, it was too close to Earth. So that's why another reason they think it's from here. But there was a chemical it's found in our sun. It's the only place you're going to find it is in our sun, and it was in the planet itself. So they're pretty sure that Venus. That's another thing too. They said recently they had found some rocks. Because they're always looking for Mars rocks and shit. Because they're all over our planet. Well, they recently found some that are from Venus, or they think are from Venus. So it looks like Venus might have been from here. But my thing of it is maybe. Oh, I didn't think about this. Maybe Venus was the fifth planet. That's what's left of it from its shake-off. From whatever happened to it. We always assume that the whole planet got eaten up, but we also know when a planet gets hot and melty, it reforms.
But what would cause it to spin the wrong way? It's impossible because we're in this drain that goes that direction. It would have to go in that direction if it reformed. So what I postulate, and I agree with Velikovsky, who made this postulation in the 50s, Venus came through, drawn in by either Saturn or Jupiter or both, and it was flung into the inner planets. It flew by close enough to the fifth planet to obliterate it.
Nope, that ain't gonna work. Fifth planet would have 5-time gravity, 1-time gravity. 5-time gravity is gonna win.
Well, we don't know how we don't know what the velocity of the planet was when it came into the solar.
How fast it was. It's sheer gravity mass.
But let's just say, for example, it did as it came through. The reaction was the fifth planet exploded. That would mean that Venus would pick up some dust from that planet. Then it goes by Mars and it sucks up the atmosphere and it draws it into itself and some of the ocean water. Boom. Then it passes by Earth and knocks Earth off, again, picking up more material from the solar system, and then finally settling itself in its present orbit. And then when we drop a device on it, we detect Earth-like, our solar system material, but it's material that is foreign to that body. It was dragged in as it went through the solar system. I think our data is
no
inconclusive when it comes to Venus.
Well, I'll tell you why that didn't happen. One, it could have never got past Saturn and Jupiter. They would have sucked it up and crashed it into their planet. It's too big. Nothing that big is getting past Jupiter and Saturn. And even if it could have, the planet that it got close to 5 times would have grabbed it. So this is why Nibiru was always bullshit. If a planet 5 times the Earth even got close to us, it would destroy our planet. It would be just remnants of dust left behind.
Mm-hmm.
The gravitational field would destroy it. So if you're coming in,
it would break the planet up. Yes.
Yeah, at any angle, and something that big gets around you. Because Venus is actually even a little bit maybe smaller than us. It would have snatched it up, it would have crushed it up, and it would have sent us on its way, which could be possibly what happened. But what they really think happened to Venus is they think it went like this. Venus was spinning, and it was hit on an angle on the side of it. Just like when you take a marble and you fling it, and the marble spinning this way, and when you hit it, the marble spinning this way. That's what they think happened.
I think maybe
Earth.
If this is the axis, it would have had to have flipped itself that way. But
well, we know something big hit Earth because that's what formed the moon. So if it was coming in on an oblique angle on any angle,
if you believe the moon formation theory, which I don't believe.
I mean, I'm just saying that we know something hit the planet.
Yes, but it wasn't the moon.
Well, no, it might not have been the moon. It might have been Venus and Earth collided, and the moon was just a remnant of the planet being left behind.
So the Velikovsky theory on that is whether it's Venus or whatever it is that came through and broke up the planets and hit Earth, what it did was this thing came through once, and if it was the planet, he says the moon, if it wasn't the planet, whatever it was, just hit Earth while Earth was forming. It was still a molten ball, knocking it off axis. And then it came around the sun and back again, and this time it hit it more straight on. The first time was more of a glancing blow, like you said in billiards, to knock the cue ball off, and then the second time around was more of a 3/4 hit. So the bulk of the molten core of that object, iron nickel core, was added to our planet's iron nickel core, making our iron nickel core bigger, and then the rest of that broke off and allegedly formed into the moon. I don't buy that theory because if that happened, it would eventually have had made its own by strictly the Coriolis effect alone would have given itself an elliptical orbit. The moon has a nearly 100% circular orbit, which is impossible in outer space. It's impossible unless it's intentional, as in it's been directed in that way by some sort of power or guided engine.
It could have been. It could have just been our planet reversing and slowing down.
It's impossible. I mean, out of how many objects do we have in our solar system that we call moons or planets? Over 400. None of them, not a single one, exhibits a circular orbit, which makes our moon impossible. And because it would eventually, if it was a natural object, it would eventually adopt a elliptical orbit. It's been around our planet for how many centuries?
No. But Jupiter's moons are not elliptical. They're regular.
Oh no, they are all. Yeah. Hey Google, how many objects in our solar system have circular orbits?
Sorry, I'm a bitch.
In our solar system, no objects have perfectly circular orbits. While many planetary and satellite orbits are very nearly circular, they are all technically elliptical to some degree due to the gravitational influence of other bodies.
She's an idiot. Ask her about
Well, except the moon, which is the least elliptical of them all.
She just. I hate when they just generically do everything like that.
Yeah, they're not nearly perfectly circles. They're all ellipses. The moon, comparably to the other orbits, is circular. And
you don't know.
The diameter of the moon is exactly where it is placed around our planet. This is the exact diameter you would need to be to block out the sun. Exactly. I mean, it's like boom, boom. That is mathematically, naturally impossible.
No, because it's moving. So think about what you just said. And in 10,000 years, the moon's not going to be where it is right now. It's going to be much farther out.
Yeah.
And which means it's not going to line up like that, and it's going to be different. And the moon's going to have different phases. This tidal effect's going to be way less. And in 100,000 years, there won't even be a tidal effect anymore.
Which tends to make it seem like it's intentional. If you'll excuse me, Mother Nature is calling. I'll be right back. I got to go and hit the men's.
I would bet you the further out it got, the more elliptical it became. The further away it gets away from us. I think our gravity's what holds it in an orbit like that. Whatever started it, I have no idea. What Jimmy? Because there's too many things about how the moon formed. Because like what Jay's talking about in orbit, so if someone created the moon originally up close, it would have been an up close orbit. But you got to remember, at one time the moon was almost touching Earth. Well, it wasn't touching Earth, but it was very, very close. So the orbit started very tight to start off with. Well, it would have been hard to get an elliptical orbit when it was only a half a mile away from the surface of the planet. That might have been what the problem was right there. That might have started it. I never really thought of it like that. That might have been what started it. But how the moon actually formed, oh man, that's a big argument. Micah, I have seen, so there is a group of mountains on Mars that if you flip them over and point them down to, they fit into the canyons on Earth, the underwater canyons on Earth, yes. And the bowl pitch fits the Pacific Ocean perfectly. It still doesn't mean that's where it came from. It'd be a coincidence. Because that means that's the drop theory. That means something hit. It doesn't even actually mean anything hit. It means that the planet Earth got an egg on the side of it, and eventually the egg broke off and started to float away.
Sorry about that.
That happened. No, Jay, I was thinking about that. Now I understand why it's in a regular orbit. Because originally when the moon started, it was within a half a mile of the surface of Earth, which means it couldn't even have had an elliptical orbit. It would have been hitting the planet as it went around it. So it had to have just a regular orbit. So that's the orbit it started. That's why it's been in that orbit. And it's been moving out 2 inches a year ever since.
Well, I still tend to disagree with you on that because I heard what you said as I was running out. I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea on that. Now, I think if the moon was part of the plasma ball that became the Earth and the moon, it would have, because of the Coriolis effect of all the things around us, it would have been in a much more elliptical orbit. What I think it suggests is because there are certain stories of times before the moon that the moon didn't form within this solar system, at least not within Earth's orbit. And it came to being in orbit at a later time, but not as far back as we seem to think. And I would say that the moon's arrival is much earlier.
I can tell you exactly.
Much later than speculated. I think it's a very recent addition.
Let me put it this way to you: no moon, no life. It's that simple. The moon is what triggered life on this planet. So life started here 1.5 billion years ago. So that means that moon's been here at least that long.
But I don't think it's been here since the formation of the planet. I think it's an additional arrival.
Everybody. Actually, the way most scientists talk about, well, okay, let me rephrase this because it's two different things. So there's a group of scientists that don't think anything hit us. They think that the Earth itself, while spinning, got a wobble in it and created like how you get a knot in your tire, how you get it like a knot. That's what they think happened, and it just popped off, and that's why it stayed right there with us and orbited perfectly with us. And it's a perfect theory because that's how the moon acts. Everything they said that would happen happened is what's happening with us today. So the theory is pretty damn good. My problem's always been the same thing. Okay, it's almost too perfect. The triggering of the moon, the triggering of life, the triggering of the way things go on this planet. Okay, we can say.
And again, the exact diameter of the moon to where it is on our orbit to block out the sun.
It's just
engineered.
Part of me makes it feel that way, but then religious people would say God did that. The universe created that. Life created that because the universe
that was done by an intelligent being, not a god.
So we're talking 1.5 billion years ago. Those aliens are dead and gone.
Yeah.
They're adios amigos, and whatever they were is probably why the moon's hollow, man, because they had a colony that's going and disintegrated now. There's no activity on the moon, Gene. We got satellites. Ask Google how many satellites are around the moon right now. 8.
Hey,
9.
Google, how many satellites are spinning around the moon right now?
There's more than you think, Jack. More than one, I can tell you that.
2026, there is a small active fleet of spacecraft orbiting the moon, including NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter and Capstone, as well as China's QUEQIAO-2 relay satellite. While the exact number of active missions fluctuates as new ones arrive and others conclude, it is a small, single-digit number of primary spacecraft.
Yeah, it's like 7 or 8 last I heard. So there's nothing going on that we don't know about. I mean, we're orbiting it all the time. We know what's going on up there. We can see it. And there's other things we can see, like that new hole we just found. I'm pretty sure it's going to a huge underground cavern. They echoed it. It seems like it's going to be a big one, but we still got to get there.
Let me guess. It's on the dark side of the moon, isn't it?
No, I don't think it was on the dark side. I think this was actually on the light side of the moon.
Oh, really?
You know what it looked like?
Okay.
It looked like one of them giant holes in the original Dune that the worms would make. That's what it actually.
Right. Well, so I was just going to suggest the data of the Nazi experiment of them having built a base on the moon was exactly a tunnel underneath the surface, and it was a tunnel that goes down at an angle and then flattens out. There was a tunnel for the facilities and another tunnel going up at the same angle for the one in, one out. You have 2 exits, 2 ways in, 2 ways out.
Well, Jesse, you want to find underground facilities like when we go to Mars, we don't want to build on the surface of Mars right away. We'd rather build because it's easy. You find a big open area, you cap both ends, you fill it up with air.
Yep.
On the surface, you got to build the building, put all the oxygen stuff together, and hope some micrometeorites or some dust devil don't come rip everything down.
And you got to put radiation blocking in it too. Otherwise, you deteriorate.
No, Jack, you can't walk around the surface of Mars without a suit. It's weird. So technically, the radiation isn't as bad as they tell you. Well, because it's further away from the sun, so the solar radiation isn't as bad.
But there are other radiations out there that you're not protected from because there's no electromagnetic barrier.
The atmosphere is basically a wisp. Well, most of the harmful radiation for us comes from the sun, but but that's because
Right.
we're 10 million miles closer or something. I don't know. I think it's
Does Mars have its own Van Allen belt around it? Because I know we have ours.
The Van Allen belt is a smirky little thing. I think it has more to do with the field, and I don't think Mars gives off a big enough field to have. Okay, Jesse, we've been sending shit through the Van Allen belt since 1960. And just so you know, electronics does not like radiation either.
No, especially from the Van Allen.
So we got a damn satellite, not 2 miles from the Van Allen. Not satellite, a space station. It's not exactly. It's not. People they always want to have a Van Allen belt like you can spend 3 days crossing through or something. You're not. It's not how it works. And yes, there's a lot of radiation in space, but first, you're moving pretty fast. And secondly, shielding radiation inside a craft is not as hard as you think it is. Now, you don't have to have all that heavy lead anymore. There's other ways to shield. Well, see, on Mars, that's why you want to build underground, because then the surface itself it works as a natural shield. Not just from radiation, but from rocks and stuff. Meteors.
And as we said with the alien craft, the gray aliens, they're living craft, they're bioengineered device, if you will. It is the skin, the chitin, exoskeleton, whatever you want to call it, is capable of absorbing radiation, which means that it doesn't penetrate into the inside of the ship where you are, and then it absorbs that radiation and turns it into other energies. So it would turn it into like a pot of coffee for you.
It's going to be different living there, but I mean, if they do it right and they start underground, I mean, I imagine Olympus Mons is full of lava pits and lava tunnels and lava holes. I imagine all over the surface there's great places that we can build underground.
Well, it's no longer geologically active. Is that correct?
I don't.
As far as we
so NASA said this the other day. So originally everybody agreed Mars was a dead planet, but no, because it has stuff still going on it, they don't think it's completely dead.
I wouldn't say dead. How about
they don't,
dormant?
They
dormant.
say that. So, well, the reason why they say that is because a couple times they were saying there was ice melting and stuff like that. And they've seen it, but there's a couple of times what looked to be lava melting, not ice. So they but you see, that's another thing. Okay, maybe it was lava coming up through the ground. I can't rule that out. A little hot spot somewhere on the surface still, or maybe some damn meteor struck the damn thing the day before, and all you can see is what's left of the the lava from where it hit. Well, there's nothing.
Right.
Jack. So on Earth, anything like say the size of a baseball coming through the atmosphere is going to get melted. It's never going to get here. Actually, really bigger than that, even the size of Volkswagens, usually won't hit the ground. On Mars, the damn thing size of a dime will hit the ground. It will hit the ground at like 30,000 miles an hour.
Right.
It's going to be hauling ass, probably faster than that.
Yeah, and on Earth we have the benefit of a 70% covering of water. So most things now, like the way it works is for meteorites, there's things that are about the size of a pebble hit the Earth every day. Hundreds of them, thousands of them. Every week there's something about the size of a human fist that hits the land. Every month there's something about the size of a boulder or a Volkswagen hits the Earth. And then every year there's something about the size of maybe a house that penetrates into the water, but it's very rare that anything that size. But what that means is that those things were way bigger before they were smaller when they hit. So something the size of a pebble, when it hits our atmosphere, it had to be something like the size of a boulder and get burnt down to the size of a pebble before it lands on the Earth. So we have that benefit. We have a lot of water. It catches most of it, and the stuff that does hit the land usually doesn't kill people.
Definitely helps. Well, James, it's that's what we were talking about earlier. So the way our solar system is set up, and that's another thing when we talk about this, a lot of solar systems, you find the gas giants much closer into the sun than you do where ours are. Ours act like vacuum cleaners. I have heard scientists talk about this for 4 decades. They act like, y'all remember Shoemaker Levy? You know, if Jupiter wouldn't have been there, there's a good chance one of them would have hit us.
Well, it would also it would have hit us as one big, huge thing. It wouldn't have broken up.
It wouldn't have broke up the way it did. And
it would have hit us all at once.
We'd have been adios amigos. But it's not just that. It's what maintains all that stuff coming through. And look at Saturn. Saturn, you said rocks all around. It's been slowly been eating them and getting rid of them. So the places that are dangerous for us is not so much the Oort cloud, because most of that stuff, if it gets in line with us, more than likely Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, or Jupiter will snatch it up. What's more dangerous for us is rogue stuff coming in and out outside of the galaxy. And if something upsets the Oort cloud, I mean, not the Oort cloud, the asteroid belt, because it's in front of Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
And between Mars, it means that if something hits it and sends it hurling towards the sun, there's nothing between us and the sun but us. Well, there's Mars.
Also, there are some like the meteor showers. What they are basically is the asteroid belt, whatever hit the fifth planet, sent a shotgun blast from that area towards our planet, and as we rotate around each year, we go through those. You need meteor shower. There's like 3 or 4 of them.
Yep. Oh, there's more than that. Yeah, there's a bunch of damn things.
There's 3 or 4 big ones, right? But we're going through these shotgun blasts every year. Every year, there's a exponentially greater chance that one of those larger things, the size of a mountain, could harm our planet.
I don't know how big they are, like in the Leonids and stuff like that. I know there's a lot, but I don't.
There's a lot of Neos that, if they hit us, would be very, very not good.
Yeah, but I think they said most of those have like pickup truck size or smaller. That doesn't mean it's not something bigger than X. We can't see it, so we don't really know.
And that's the other thing. They're so close, we can't see all of them.
That's what I'm saying. And they're just guesstimating on a lot of stuff. And some stuff is hidden by other stuff, too. Jeffrey, it's crazy out there. The fact that any life even formed, when you look at the shit you have to go through just to be alive, is amazing. I mean, it really is amazing. You're kind of like, wow, how in the hell did our planet survive this? First, it had to survive creation. And then while it was surviving creation, it had to figure out a way to produce a viable atmosphere, viable water to produce life. Once it did all that, then it had to start building the building blocks of life. And what we had 6 great extinctions before we got to us?
5.
5. It's Jack, that's a lot of extinctions, my friend.
That we know of. There's probably a lot more. Planet's 4.5, almost 5 billion years old. We know of at least 5.
What are you talking about, Chris? Today's Wednesday. You on drugs? What do you mean, how do I know it's Wednesday? Because I know it's Wednesday. What day did you think it was? Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's not Thursday or Tyr. No, Tuesday was named after Tyr. Wednesday is named after Odin, and Thursday is named after Thor. Tyr, Odin, and Thor.
So, Jack, if it was Tuesday, like you say it is, Michelle DeRoche would be on the phone right now cussing me because this means we would be into someone else's showtime.
Yep.
So I would suggest that you put the pipe down. Yes, put it down.
Or pass it along.
Yes. Well, I don't know what exactly you're smoking. Before we tell you puff, pass, we need to know what you smoke. It might not be something good. But Dina, what are you talking about, Dina? There's the problem with the UFO stuff. We're going to keep, for the next couple of weeks, we got some stuff. We got a guest coming on. Carmen's booking them. And we got Michelle coming on, but she's coming on the Friday night show for something else. I forgot what it was. My brain's not working. And something we were doing. Jay, what the hell were we doing?
Wednesday?
No, we were bringing Michelle on to talk about. Now I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot too.
That's what happens when you get old, people. Your brain goes first.
I bet Michelle remembers.
Yes, well, we got it. Well, I got to talk to her. We got to finish booking it. But no, who do you want? Well, send me a guest that you want, and I'll see about booking. I just haven't been really in the mood to just talk to anybody. Well, hey, what? Well, first off, don't take this the wrong way, but I own a damn place, so I pretty much talk about what I want to.
Mhm.
I was just being polite. I'm saying, just don't get offended. That's all I was saying. Before, see, you ain't got offended, did you? Uh-huh. Well, I tried not to offend you, but you just had to keep whining. Clara, you can go to uprntalkradio.com, and there's always a sample of videos over there. I usually change them out every couple of weeks. Yeah, it could be anything. Just different hosts. Like I said, it's a sample. I couldn't tell you why. No, a sampling. It's like 9 or 10 shows you can go listen to. I mean, you go to YouTube anywhere else, you just want to just listen to listen. Yeah. It's not like we don't have a ton of shows to listen to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My favorite ufologist? You're shitting me, right? I don't know. Maybe Jay. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
I don't know. I mean, you can't expect me to tell you that's anybody in the field because they're, I'm not going to say this right, idiots. It's, because research is research. You know, if you listen to the show for any length of time, you'll notice that I don't always get along or agree with the co-host or the guest or anybody else. And that's one of the reasons this show is popular, is because we can agree to disagree and still be friends afterwards. Because we're not going to get to the truth by pigeonholing ourselves
or chasing fireflies at night. Yeah, you're not going to get any information.
So you have to be willing to check new ideas, new theories. Yeah, you have to get involved.
Yeah, and the other part of the problem is a lot of these newer researchers, they don't tenure their research with either logic or corroboration. I look for corroboration in everything. I've been doing this over 40 years. And in the beginning, I was like, I'd see an information, I'd see a video, I'd see a photo, I'd read a story. It's aliens, it's aliens, it's aliens. You can't do that. You have to go back and take the initial excitement out of it and tenure the fact that a lot of these videos that we've seen that we just saw tonight and that have come out the last month, and there's more to come out this month, I will bet you dimes to dollars that 90% of the unidentifiable things are going to be identified as things that we created, whether back engineered from UFOs or just new innovative devices we've made. The other 10% will remain, but most of it's going to be very, very shockingly unrevealing and unwavering. And it's not going to be very exciting. You're going to be very, very disappointed, unfortunately. And over the years, a lot of times people are like, oh, you think this is a UFO? Probably not. It's probably something that we made. And that's what I said to everybody in the 90s. Hey, what about these triangles? And I said, most of them are ours. The others, one or two, maybe not ours.
Man, so many people got pissed about that shit.
Yep. Because only one or two actually were not ours. The rest were ours that whole time.
That can't be ours. Look at that technology. That's not our technology.
It's ours. Yes, it
Joe,
is.
you're wrong. It's not. So think what you want to think, but that's our technology.
Look, I was a kid in the 70s, and I had found out about these programs. And when they started out, and they're just now coming out. I've been saying about these planes and these devices for 30 years, and people thought I was a whack job. Well, now here they come. They're out
that much, but you know, that's beside the point, man. That's beside the point, man.
The fact of the matter is, besides the point is that what I have discovered, under my own diligence, is now coming to light. And a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, wow, how did they do this?" They fooled everybody by making you think you're chasing UFOs. You're not. You're chasing highly technically advanced Air Force technologies.
Yeah, you'd be better off catching a UFO because if you catch one of these, you're
Yeah.
in trouble.
Hell, you'd actually be better off catching fireflies, to be honest with you. They're much more fun.
What are you talking about? What do you mean, why is Jay being a tease? I don't understand what you're talking about. Oh, the firefly thing. You keep telling the stop that he's being a tease. I mean, what the hell are you talking about? He's being a tease.
It's an analogy for chasing lights, chasing UFOs, chasing lights in the sky.
So there is going to be a firefly, but it's going to be, what was it, a cartoon, right, Jay? Is that when?
Yeah, what we thought it was going to be a live action, but it's going to be a second season animated Firefly.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it.
All the characters are going to be in it, and they're going to use their voices,
except for the dead ones, I think. Can't use. They can go back in retro spec and have the dead ones, but 3 of them died.
Wait, who's dead?
Watch died, Bishop died, and I think Jane died.
I knew Bishop died. I didn't hear about Jane because that's
Watch.
Baldwin.
Watch dies in the movie.
Yeah, but
he gets impaled. Remember?
They can write around that.
And didn't his wife die too? I think 3. They buried 3 of them at the end. I forget which 3.
No, the number 2, she's okay. The Booker, she's okay. The mechanic's okay. The doctor and his daughter's okay. Jane's okay.
The doctor and his sister.
The doctor,
Bishop. Oh, the other one was
he went to go live at the camp and got killed. The bad guy, the spy, the good guy, bad guy.
Yeah,
the preacher man.
Yeah, the black dude. But the other guy I think they buried was the dude who was the communications guy. That his robot girlfriend told him that he got stabbed.
Oh yeah, okay, but that don't count.
He stabbed me, Mal.
Shit. Yes, it wasn't cool. That's a crazy piece.
But how's it going to be? I'm on the fence. It's either going to suck or it's going to be really, really good. I'm tending towards suck, but
kind of tending towards myself. But we can only hope. Jesse, Firefly was a good short-lived. And you know what sucked about it? I was listening to the guy who played Walsh the other day, and they actually told him if they come back from Serenity, they would rewrite him in. But he said everything they tried doing the season, no one would watch it. No one. He said they had the worst ratings ever.
It was canceled. It was purchased for 13 episodes. They filmed 13 episodes. One of them was a 2-hour episode, the premiere, the pilot. So actually it's 14 episodes, but it was canceled on the 10th episode. So the 11th, 12th, and 13th episodes were never aired.
No, you can get them. Bring it up to 14.
No, you can get them, but they were never aired on TV. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch it on TV, so I couldn't.
Oh yeah, I watched it on TV. They canceled it right after the 10th episode was aired. They said that's it, and everyone was like, "What?"
Linda don't like she don't like the guy Turley at the end. The bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Last episode, she don't like that guy for some reason, and she didn't really like the guy in the movie either.
Oh, he was vicious, yeah.
he was methodical killer. That's what he was. You talking about the Purple Hands episode? I forgot the name of it. Yeah, the guys with purple hand, they had a little stick that go trick, and everybody start bleeding from their eyes and nose and die and stuff. Yeah. Serenity had a lot of. So Serenity was interesting because it was a cowboy western. But it was a cowboy western set with advanced technological cities.
It was much more the wagon train to the stars than Star Trek was.
Yeah. And Star Trek was supposed to be, because remember, Gene Roddenberry, before he wrote Star Trek, used to write Western. He wrote detective stuff, then he wrote Westerns.
Detective and police stories, but mostly he started off doing Westerns, yes.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing in Hollywood back then, in the 40s and 50s, were Westerns, yeah.
But if you go back and read some of the Westerns, you'll see they have a Star Trek-esque feel about them. As far as the stuff in the episodes, the only difference is they got horses and pistols instead of lasers and phasers and
if anyone remembers the holster that they wore, one of them was this thing, which was worn around the waist to emulate the speed draw holsters of the cowboy times. That's what this is for. You only see it in a few episodes, but all the guns, all of them on Firefly, are low slung, like speed draw cowboy stuff, to emulate that fact. And there's always a bar fight, almost every episode. You know,
Not idea like that, something like that. No, so you can hit somebody like this flat fisted. You gotta be careful if you hit them wrong, you have to make your wrist up. You can hit them up, or you turn your knuckles in and use a judo punch.
there are in martial arts there are three fists. You've got Goju Ryu, you've got ridge hand, which is that. Okay, you use that across the brow ridge. Oh, that really hurts. And then there's what's called as knife hand. Your hand is like that. Those are your three fists: knife, ridge, and gojo.
What do you mean, James? Where do you put your thumb? So you can put your thumb on the inside if you want, but it's a good chance you'll get your thumb broke.
You're gonna break your thumb right here when you hit somebody.
By the impact. Now there is a chance when your thumb's on the side or folded under that you can catch something, but the odds are less likely, especially if you punch like I do, where your thumb is actually under your front two fingers on the front. It's not anything.
There are two thoughts in the actual full fist. The American pugilist style, bare knuckle fisted, is the best way to make a fist is do like this, put your hand straight down, and then you'll feel this part, this fatty part right here, that ridge of muscle there. You want to grab that under your pads. Otherwise, you're liable to break your fingers by not grabbing it. So you grab that, and then what do you do with your thumb? In America, it's across the knuckles that way. So all you see is the first four. In martial arts, it's this way. So it's on top. It'll never strike with your surface. Those are your two ways to make it.
When you put your thumb sides, it takes a little power away from your actual wrist punch. But, Jack, there's lots of things. If you want to just hit people, there's lots of ways to hit people, dude. Come on, that's just crazy. Why do you want to go around hitting people?
I know how to do the 1-inch punch like Bruce Lee. I can knock you on your ass without reeling you up.
It's the core punch. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, if you know the technique, all you got to do is hit the guy in the right place.
Turn him in like that. If I hit you like that, I'd crack your ribs.
When you can see a 5'6" Chinese man who weighs 110 pounds soaking wet can punch someone the size of Andre the Giant, 7 foot tall, without reeling back, just like this, boom, and knock him 3 foot back.
Yeah,
that ain't fake.
I learned some stuff. I learned some stuff around Bruce that I wasn't happy to find out. But
there's some things about him that were kind of disturbing. Yes.
Well, I liked it. I had nothing against it. Well,
I don't either. But there's a rumor that he used to eat a bowl of hash every morning, hashish for breakfast, before he'd work out.
You never know. He never looked like he's high, but and he was a little weird about his body. No, Jackie, he fought Chuck Norris. Not in a real fight. Chuck would kicked his ass. So you have to remember. So this was funny. Chuck Norris talked about this just before he died. Matter of fact, this is weird. They asked him about the fight, and a couple times Chuck had fought with him. He said, "Well, you got to remember something." He said, "I'm world champion 6 times." He said, "I have kicked people's asses that make Bruce look like a baby." He said, "Bruce knew that coming into this." He said, "But when Bruce asked me to do this, the first question I asked Bruce was, 'Do I get to win?' And Bruce said, 'No.'" And he goes, "My face just went." It was so funny the way he said it. And he was like, "Man," he said, "but Bruce would tell you that he was not a professional fighter. He wasn't a trained fighter. He was just a martial artist who was developing his own style. He was a damn good, but he wasn't. He couldn't have got in the ring and fought all the time. He would have got his ass whooped eventually.
He learned his fighting in the streets of Hong Kong in gangs, and when it began to threaten his life, his mother introduced him to a man named Master Yip, and Master Yip took him under his wing and taught him Wing Chun.
He had some of the fastest.
And then from that, he developed Jeet Kune Do.
He really had some of the fastest hands I've ever seen.
There are some great videos of him in California in the 60s and 70s, verified footage of him. They can't on that emulsion film, they can't track his movements. His fists, his punches are faster than or as fast, they say, as most nerve impulses. So when your brain says to your hand, make a fist, that's how long it takes him to punch you in the face.
He was a lot of fun to
Split
watch.
second.
I got to see Chuck fight, a professional fight in the Superdome. He knocked this big dude out. This dude was big and bad. This guy had some serious kicks. He hit Chuck one time. I thought Chuck was going out to ring the guy. So, but all of a sudden he came around. Chuck did a spinning back kick, got the guy off guard, and you just see Chuck lean back, and his left one just went straight up. Boom!
Yeah.
Knocked the guy was out cold. I mean, he lifted him up off the ground, knocked him out cold. Didn't even lose balance, man. I was like, dude, you're impressive. He's not that big of a guy. Well, he wasn't that big of a guy.
Mm-hmm.
But watching him and Bruce together, there's some footage you can get now. They've released, I guess. Both of them are dead. And them talking and playing, doing rehearsal for the Eye of the Dragon, whichever one it was.
It's the one in Italy.
It's a lot of fun to watch.
It's called Way of the Dragon,
and you could tell there was more friendship there than the media knew about, because they were clowning, acting like idiots. You could tell they knew each other for a while. I didn't know he'd go see Chuck fight, and Bruce got him into a fight in China, some gig they got him into, and they told Chuck he'd never survive it. It's 2 days, he knocked everybody out. Tournament usually lasted 2 weeks. Chuck knocked everybody out in 2 days. They were like, Jesus Christ. It made the European papers all over the place. And you know what was funny? Right after that, within, I think, 2 years, was that stupid movie came out with Van Damme, Kumite.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, I don't think it was the same thing, but Van Damme was okay, Jack.
John Coppenham's a very accomplished martial artist. Everyone thinks he's a fake martial artist. He actually had started out. I think he's from Belgium or France, but he started out as a ballet dancer, and in order to become more flexible, he started taking karate, so he could stretch and do ballet stuff. But I think he's a much better martial artist than he's a ballet dancer, to be honest with you.
Probably is.
But he's not a faker. He does it for real. He's a good, martial artist.
He was a pretty decent one. Mike, we got to go, but Jet Li was badass. Yeah, Jet Li was badass.
Jet Li still is badass. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Donnie Yen's pretty badass.
Oh, you mean Jackie Chan? Jackie Chan is a real martial artist, but Jackie Chan is crazy. He's
Jackie Chan actually was a stunt performer on most of Bruce's 6 films, at least 5 of them, I think. 5 of the 6.
That's the sad part is Jackie still does his own. I don't know if he does now, but he was doing them. I know in the last 3 movies he did with Chris Rock, he did all of his stunts.
Yeah, Hollywood won't let him do his own stunts anymore, and I don't think Hong Kong does either. But it used to be he did his own stunts. He's in his 80s. No, you're sorry. You're not doing your own stunt.
They show him he's trying to slip. So there's this one scene where they're coming out the back, and there's a little wire gate. A little thing where you pass the money under. So he jumps up. He's going to slide between the top and the bottom. He got stuck twice. It's funny as hell. No, people, it's not in the movie. It's in the clips.
Bloopers.
Yeah. But anyway, we got to go. We're 5 minutes into Michelle showed up some spot.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry, Michelle.
We're going to get out of here.
This time.
Well, there's a lot of video up there y'all can see, but anything you see, but there's so much of this gray stuff. It's making me crazy. Yeah, we'll look around, see if we can find something better, but so far, not so much. And they keep telling me there's descriptions of aliens that were released that I haven't found yet, so we'll keep looking for them. Oh, no,
yeah, supposedly in this next dump, they're supposed to be photos of alien bodies and both dead and living alien creatures.
We'll see. I don't think they're ever going to say, but we'll see.
I'm not very enthusiastic about that report, but we'll see.
We'll talk about that on Friday. The Warpower thing. It's going to pass, and we'll talk about all that on Friday. What do you mean? Why is it important, dude? First off, if they put limitations on Trump, they give the ball to Iran. All this was for nothing.
Yeah.
Because now Iran will know that Trump can't do anything because the country told them no. Right now, they don't know that. Yeah, you got to worry. You got to wonder about our country sometimes. How you really do. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. But catch us on Friday. We'll talk about it. Right now, no later. We got to get out of here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio, UFO Undercover. Of course, if you have any moans, groans, bitches, or complaints, please write to Michelle DeRoche. If you are a host tonight, your show is already up and posted in the archive, so you can check it out there. This one will be up in the next 15 or 20 minutes. But until Friday, have some fun. Enjoy your lives. Duck every once in a while. You never know it's falling from the sky. Good night, everybody.